Hello and welcome to Loppy Loves Eco. If you haven't been here before, my name is Lauren and on this channel I talk about sustainability and eco-friendly living on a budget. In today's video I am going to show you how to make your own sourdough starter, which is a really useful thing to have. It's very cheap and you can use it to make your own bread, or what I like to do is make your own pizza bases. I have a video about how to make a pizza base from sourdough and I'll link that somewhere here. I also use it to make crumpets and flatbreads and just other things. Now, the reason that I'm filming this, because I wasn't ever planning to make a sourdough starter video, is because I managed to kill my sourdough starter that I'd had for a year. I made my own starter a year ago, and what happened was that I didn't listen to the advice about keeping different cultures away from each other, like fermenting cultures, and I just kept them all very close together, and my cultures cross-contaminated or cross-cultured. At least the sourdough did. And what happened was that I had a huge jar of apple cider vinegar that I was making, and I put the sourdough starter by the vinegar, and the starter started to grow a vinegar mother, like a SCOBY, which I never thought would happen, never thought that could happen. And no matter how much I tried, it just kept growing back. The SCOBY kept growing back, and eventually it grew mould, so I had to throw it away, unfortunately. So I made a new sourdough starter and I filmed it for you to see the process. Enjoy! Okay, so day one, we're just going to have 50% flour, 50% water. So I have my clean jar here and my digital scale. It's best if you can get a digital scale because you need to be able to see the exact grams if possible. I have done it before with one of the old-fashioned kind of scales. Yeah, so I've set it to 0 with the jar on there, and I am going to add maybe 50 grams of flour. Okay, I've just gone over it, maybe a bit more then, so maybe 100. Not very good at judging it, honestly, so I'm going to add 100 grams of flour and 100 grams of water, which is 100 millilitres, but yeah, it's just more accurate this way. So I have 100 grams of flour. And can we get it exactly? Okay, I've just gone a little bit over 205 grams of water, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour. 105 grams of flour and 105 grams of water. Now we're going to give it a good mix. And you want it really well combined. Okay, and usually when I am feeding my starter, I put the lid back on just loosely. But I think because we are trying to harvest the yeast, I am going to actually just put a paper towel or a cloth on top. So here I have a reusable paper towel, and I am just going to put it on top of the jar and just fasten it with an elastic band. And I am going to leave this for 24 hours and then we will come back tomorrow. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. Today I've got my camera at the right angle, but I've got to crouch a little bit to fit into the frame. So it's actually starting to bubble a little bit, which is surprising. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but there are some tiny bubbles. And when I open it, I can see some bubbles as well. Because it has only been one day, and I also didn't stir it very well. There's like these large pockets of flour because I did a really bad job yesterday. You can't really see inside, but it's also bubbling a bit inside after just one day, which is amazing. So today all I'm going to do is add 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water, mix it well and leave it overnight again. Okay, this time it has been stirred well. There are no clumps of flour that I can see. So again, I am just going to put the cloth on top and an elastic band and leave it for 24 hours again. Okay, so it is now day 3 and our starter is getting very bubbly. I don't know if you can see. And it has also actually grown quite a lot. And this actually looks like a sourdough starter, like a recently fed one. But I still want to carry on for a few more days because it has only been like two days in a row. So this is day 3. So because it's grown so much and it's going to go out the jar, we need to get rid of some of the sourdough starter. But instead of throwing it away, I'm actually going to just transfer half of this into a new jar and make 2 starters. So then I'll have the main one and then the spare one because I don't really want to waste it if it's going so well. Okay, so now that I've split it into 2 jars, there's like less than half here, but yeah, there's enough space in there for it to grow. I am going to just add 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of water again, cover it with the cloth and leave it overnight. Okay, so now I actually have 2 starters and I am going to leave them for another 24 hours and I think it will actually be ready tomorrow. I would recommend going on for 5 days and I'm probably going to carry on for 5 days, but I think this will actually be ready to use tomorrow, honestly. Okay, so today is actually day 5. I didn't film yesterday because I didn't do anything with the sourdough yesterday. I ran out of time. Now, it's quite good though because if you can see, it's not going to show up very well on the camera. Can you see this liquid that's separated from the sourdough? It's like a dark liquid. Yeah, this is just what happens to the sourdough if it runs out of food, basically. So it's a sign that you need to feed the sourdough. So it's good that you can see this. So today is the last day. I am going to feed both sourdoughs and then I am actually going to use them tomorrow to make pizza. So I'm just going to feed them now. Yeah, just 50-50 flour and water again, as always. Okay, so I just fed both of the starters. Tomorrow they'll be ready to use and I am going to make some pizza tomorrow. So that was it for today's video. I hope you make a starter, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get a lot of use out of it. It can be a really useful thing to have on hand. Yeah, so have a lovely day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.